EI is
meal cock.
meal cock.
And long may your big jib draw.
And long may your big jib draw.
I now declare you all honorary Newfoundland.
We're Michael and HALEF. Together with our German Shepherd Kana,
This is for you.
we've been traveling full-time around the United States in our camper van.
Anna, what you doing?
We arrived in Canada to explore the vast land of the Great White North. So come, join us and travel around Canada in our home on wheels. Previously on the vlog, we went to Chafe's Landing restaurant in Petty Harbour, Newfoundland for an authentic taste of Newfoundland delicacies.
Go. Delicious.
It's okay not to like it. It was not disappointing. Welcome to downtown St. John's in the lovely province of Newfoundland.
I'm taller than Michael right now.
We are in St. John's, Newfoundland, a city on the easternmost coast of Canada, and we are here to visit a friend of mine, Nancy, who I've known since childhood, but we're also here to see other things, including screaming babies.
Yep. So other than just the usual thing, catching up and hanging out with our friends, we also happen to want to play tourist in St. John's.
And we are going to eat some delicious food, have some delicious local beer, and see some amazing sights that St. John's is known for.
And I'm excited because I've always heard about this town and I guess the city, sorry. I've always heard about the city and now we're here.
Well, we can say town too because people from St. John's are known as townies. Always call them townies as kids.
There you go, an insider from a local.
So St. John's, which is the capital city of the province that I was born in, and I was actually born in this city, was a city that was established in, I think, 1497. There's an argument about what the oldest city in North America is, but St. John's is really in the running. And, you know, it's probably the oldest city.
And we're starting off here in Water Street, which is the commercial street in St. John's. And unfortunately, it's not really a nice day because it is pretty dreary.
Dreary is a normal good day in St. John's.
And people describe the weather as RDF all the time. Rain, drizzle, and fog. That's what we love it here. We love our RDF. You can even buy beer, RDF.
RDF beer.
That's right, RDF beer. Rain, drizzle, and fog.
So currently we are in Duckworth Street, which is next to the Water Street. So this is the downtown area of St. John's and the commercial hub of the city. A lot of colorful houses, really inviting stores. So we just walk around enjoying our day in St. John's.
Renting above these houses, store at the bottom.
Yeah.
And there's people that are renting this or living up above.
So Terry Fox is a national hero in Canada. Back in 1980, he did something called the Marathon of Hope, which he was going to run across Canada to raise money for cancer. His first thing here was to come to this area and dip his leg in the Atlantic Ocean, and by the time he was finished, his hope was to go to the Pacific Ocean and finish his marathon there and dip his leg into the Pacific Ocean. Unfortunately, his cancer came back. I can't remember where exactly it was that it happened that his cancer came back, but he made it quite a ways across Canada. But the important thing is that this kind of lives on to this day. Every year there's a Terry Fox run. So when I was a kid, we'd go out and we'd get sponsors by the mile or the kilometer, or someone just giving you a pile of money, and you would raise a certain amount of money and you'd go out and do your own Marathon of Hope on a Terry Fox walk or run. So we did that every year until I left Newfoundland. One of the things that people come to see in St. John's is a place called Jellybean Row. Now, there is no specific place called Jellybean Row, so if you're under the impression that there's a street that you have to go see, that's not true. There are plenty of places in St. John's that you can see houses that will qualify as Jellybean Rows. For example, these ones behind me.
Most of the structures here in downtown St. John's were built in 1890s. Therefore, it's a Victorian style architecture. And all the way fast forward to 1970s, they are mostly abandoned. Therefore, there's a group of people who decided that we try to revitalize these houses. They bought a few of them here in downtown and start painting them differently after they renovate everything else, and the Fed caught on and people start getting the idea of it and they start color their houses differently.
There's a few myths about Jellybean Row. One of those myths is that it was a way for fishermen to see their way back into port. Well, that wasn't true because this only started in the 1970s. Now fishermen have radar and everything like that to come in, so that's a complete myth. The one thing that we're not sure of is if these colors are regulated. My friend Nancy says that they have to apply for certain colors, yet other people say there's no regulations whatsoever. You can just paint them whatever color you want. So either people are just really good about taking part in the whole Jellybean Row idea, or they are regulated.
From the window, I'm going to switch places with you. I mean, you just...
Driving in downtown St. John's is quite an enjoyable experience, with its colorful houses all in rows. There isn't any duplication of the scenery in the city center.
What's it called? Jellybean Road?
Jellybean Road.
Oh, Jellybean Road.
Row.
Row.
Oh, row, yeah, row. R-O-W.
Yep, Jellybean Row. It's a historical area, obviously. It's nice details on the houses. What's the sections called? The battery?
Well, it's just lower road, middle road, and higher road.
Simple enough.
Your door, a car is going to wipe you out.
They got smaller plows, obviously, for this type of street.
Definitely a very tight road. It's a lot of them here.
This is The Rooms, a provincial museum where visitors can visit to experience Newfoundland and Labrador's natural and cultural history. Here, we're exploring the museum's temporary visual art exhibit.
That's really funky.
When we were kids, Nancy's dad had a skidoo like this. It was pretty old and definitely not as nice as some of the other ones, but it was definitely the most reliable and it could pull a lot of wood. He had a caboose on the back of it that we used to throw 1,000 pounds of wood in. Does anybody even call it that?
Caboose, yeah.
As well as learning about some of Newfoundland's native plants and animals. So this is a great auk. This is a species that begins with in the Latin, the word penguinus, and later on in Antarctica and in South Africa, they found birds that look like the great auk, and they just called them penguins because they look so much like a great auk. The Latin name was penguinus, and they just called them penguins, even though they're in no way related. So that's where the word penguin comes from. You'll also find some interesting historical artifacts of the province.
The ducks are causing a traffic jam.
Yeah. Oh, that's sort of cute.
Our next stop is Signal Hill National Historic Site, which is St. John's most popular landmark. This is a great place to go if you want to get a panoramic view of St. John's. You can look this way into the city, or you can look at this way out to the Atlantic Ocean and see all the whitecaps on the waves. This is where Cabot Tower is located. It's an iconic view in St. John's. It's very windy here now. This is Cabot Tower behind me. It is basically the highest point in St. John's. From here is where the first transatlantic signal was sent. During the winter and the spring when the icebergs break off, this is a great place to come and see the icebergs that float out around sea out here in St. John's. And in fact, some of them that drift into the harbor, into the Narrows, can block up the Narrows and prevent ships from exiting and entering the harbor. So they have to sometimes get boats to come in and tow the icebergs out.
It's very windy. It's very unusual. I think even Terry said this is not normal, but it's extremely windy. But it's beautiful.
And what's a visit to Newfoundland without visiting Cape Spear, the easternmost point in North America, just on the outskirts of St. John's. This is the Cape Spear Lighthouse. It's at the most easterly point in the province of Newfoundland, and it's one of the oldest lighthouses in Canada. It was constructed in the early 1800s. If you look at it right now, you're pretty much seeing what was there during the first few years of construction because they've kept the design the same. It's very cool, very windy, and it was very important to ships coming into St. John's Harbor.
With that said, everything in North America is that way. Nothing else this way. And this is probably the most simple, the simplest, I think that's the word, the simplest lighthouse I've ever seen.
Anybody that flew a drone up here would probably lose it anyway, it's so windy.
Here comes the rain. And so windy too.
Aww. Wow.
Oh. So for lunch today, we decided to go to the Duke of Duckworth.
Yes, the Duke of Duckworth. Famous fish and chips. It's the best.
I have no problem eating the best fish and chips here in Newfoundland.
Sign in. It's an old-fashioned English pub.
Ah, that's what it's called for. Okay.
The Duke of Duckworth is a must-visit establishment in St. John's city centre. It's a homey, historic pub which is famous for its selection of draft beer as well as for its fish and chips, and that's what we came here for today.
It's a session IPA, and the Aloha is a sour.
We have some onion rings. Looks like a nice big basket of them. I'll put them in the center so everybody can reach.
Michael and his onion rings.
I love onion rings.
Yep. Look at that.
With dressing? I have one without
Look
dressing.
at that. That's crazy.
I'm just looking at it and where the hell am I going to start? Here.
My God, it's a generous piece of cod, and I got two somehow, but definitely homemade price.
I actually don't mind some dressing.
Man, it's good. Even the french fries are good. They're fresh cut. With some malt vinegar, perfect.
You can tell the freshness and how glistening it is and how flaky it is. It is just so fresh. The batter is very thin and crisp. It's not too heavy.
You know, I come from Newfoundland, and I've eaten fish and chips a lot in my life, and never once have I ever had it with gravy and dressing. But I gotta say, it was pretty good. I liked it.
That was really good.
That was the best fish I've had ever fried. We'd definitely come back here. Thank you, Nancy.
You're welcome.
One of the most quaint areas of St. John's is Vidi Lake, and it's just a quick drive from the city centre. There are lots of fishing boats here, as well as a few historical structures.
This is called Vidi Gut, and a gut is a word used to mean a small sort of harbor or a little area. You're going to see a lot of fishing stages over here, and you see there's a wedding party here, just getting their pictures taken. It's very picturesque, the Vidi Gut.
Yeah.
Let's go grab a beer. We had an enjoyable afternoon to walk around Vidi, which is famous for its brewery, the Vidi Brewing Company, in the middle of the village.
We are at George Street in what's it called, the Christian's Pub. This is where I have to be tonight.
Yes, there is a ceremony that we do in Newfoundland that makes you an honorary Newfoundland. It's called a Screeching In Ceremony. I'm not going to tell you too much about the ceremony right now because we want you to see it without giving too much away.
After tonight, I'm gonna be...
You're going to be an honorary Newfoundlander. Say, how you getting on, boy?
How you getting on, boy?
Say, how you getting on, boy?
How you getting on, boy?
Not getting.
And if you
You'll figure it
drink
out.
later on.
Maybe
but-
after a couple of drinks.
Yes.
Did you practice what I told you to say?
Yes, maybe I'll practice again later.
You might have to, but I mean, they'll help you out with it.
Sure.
You ready to kiss the puffin's arse and kiss the cat?
They've turned the music up, HALEF. That means that the ceremony is about to begin.
Oh, really?
Are you a bit nervous?
There's a reason why I'm free as the wind and the waves wash the sands. There's no place I would rather be than here in Newfoundland.
Hear ye, hear ye, hear ye. Let's bring the royal order of screechers to order. I understand that we have a bunch of people that want to get screeched in here today. The idea of the ceremony is to try to teach you a little bit about Newfoundland. When all's said and done, you're going to be called honorary Newfoundlanders. My name's Skipper Lukey, and I is a Newfoundlander. Thank you. Now, and it's pronounced Newfoundland, not Newfoundland or Newfoundland. This evening in Prague is what I call Newfoundland steak. It's actually maple leaf bologna. So I do need everybody to take a small piece of Newfoundland steak. Do not worry about it if you're a vegetarian, there's just not that much meat in it anyway. And we love rum. We loved it so much we'd actually get it on the wharf and we would kiss the fish goodbye, knowing it was coming back to us in the way of rum. So, in keeping with that time and honor tradition, I have a little buddy. This, a real Newfoundland codfish. Anyway, I need you all to pucker up and give this fish a little kiss. I will be protecting my fish from the ghost.
Sure.
Perfect. Wait,
I gotta kiss the cod. That's the first.
Make the noise.
Oh. There we go.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah, I know, right?
We can't have a drink without having a toast. I had the opportunity back in 2017 in meeting and screeching in the late and great Anthony Bourdain. So always remember to be kind. I like to dedicate my toast to him. Thomas, watch your back. Gold medal award winning rum made by the Appleton family in Jamaica. We water it down with our Newfoundland water, making it Newfoundland Screech. We use a Vidi is. Meal cock. And long may your big jib draw.
And long may your big jib draw.
I now declare you all honorary Newfoundland. Robert, Tia, HALEF, Robin, and Kevin, welcome to Newfoundland.
Oh, wow.
We'll rant and we'll roar like true Newfoundlanders. We'll rant and
He's an honorary Newfoundlander, okay.
He's a Newfoundlander now.
I am! So official, look at that.
HALEF, you're a Newfoundlander now. What are you going to do next?
I'm gonna go to Disneyland!
we're straight through the channel to Tasso we'll go.
Finally, it's dinner time, or supper time. And we opted to have a unique dining experience at Adelaide Oyster House. A small but unique and fun dining experience in St. John's.
It's like eating a Sour Patch Kid.
As the name suggests, we simply have to try its oyster bar. The highlight of our dining experience here is watching the skillful oyster shucker cleaning and preparing our oyster dish right on the bar in the middle of the restaurant.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
EI on this side.
EI?
Yep. Then we got New Brunswick over here and in the middle.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
But two different kinds.
Oh, that lighting is
No idea it's about to be getting eaten.
all the salt water in it is tasty too, right? You know, down the gullet.
Salty. Nice, good saltwater taste in it.
I can see the appeal of it. My first oyster shop.
I love the salt water in it. Well, that's it for us from St. John's, Newfoundland. I'm really going to miss it here. This city has changed so much since I've last been here, but it's kind of the same.
I love it here. This is so vibrant, more vibrant than I thought.
It's very colorful, that's for sure. Lots to do. And great news is that the weather cooperated with us for most of our stay here. A lot of times.
So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up.
If you want to subscribe to our channel and follow our adventures all over North America, please click that subscribe button. And if you want to get a notification every time we post something new,
hit the bell!
Now we're going to go eat some of this delicious chili oil that we found at a Chinese grocery here.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.
We're straight through the channel to Tasso we'll go.
It's interesting, but
right. So we're going to pretend we're talking right now because there's a screaming baby on the list, and we don't want to do that.
Oh, okay, stop. So, there you go. Another insider from Newfies. An insider from...
This is going in a blooper, I can tell right now.
This is Cape Spear. Yeah.